Witch Queen prep. It's finally time. I know it's a couple months before the actual Witch Queen comes out, but with the 30th anniversary update coming out and a lot of players playing the game again, I figure you might as well go on and release a prep guide so you can start doing it while actually enjoying the game instead of having it be really tedious towards the end where Witch Queen's about to come out and you just have to grind stuff. Now, obviously, the earlier you start, the more you grind, the better you're going to be. So if you want to start now, this is definitely the time to do it, and you're going to be able to save up a bunch of resources. But what's going on, guys? It's Rez. In this video, I'm obviously going to be talking about the best ways you can prepare for Witch Queen. I really hope to make this the ultimate guide, that's the only one you ever really have to watch. But obviously, if you want to watch other people's as well to get a different perspective, be more than happy to. But I really hope this is going to help you out. And if it does, consider doing all the normal YouTube stuff. It really helps me out and our community grow by getting these videos out there for everyone to see. I truly appreciate it. All right, so starting off, I've already jotted down a bunch of stuff that we're going to talk about in this video. And first things first is I want to talk about just clearing your characters out. Now, this might be weird because I'm not starting off with bounties or materials, but we'll get into all of that. But starting off, just clearing your character is going to make it easier to find new things. Say you get new gear to drop, especially with the 30th anniversary update, and especially with Witch Queen coming out, because there's going to be a bunch of new gear, and you're going to want to actually use that and check it out. And this is just going to make it way easier for that. Also, if you dismantle a lot of gear, you're going to be able to get a ton of extra materials, which is really nice, which obviously we'll get into materials more in a second, like I already said. Then also, a lot of things that you have on your character is probably useless. Even of somebody that plays the game a ton like me, I have so many useless weapons that I've just saved in my vault or anything like that, or just even on other characters, and I just went out and deleted them all. You're going to get gunsmith materials, you're going to get shards, sometimes get enhancement cores. It's really good. And the same thing with armor as well. If you have just like armor that you saved up that just is completely redundant now to other better stat armor you have, just go and delete it, make some space, clear everything out. If there's any TFT fans out there, the famous words is just gonna make you less dizzy. It just makes the experience a lot easier to play, and you could just really focus on all the new content and not have to worry about all this random junk clogging your inventory up. So essentially, just go check all your characters, delete any obnoxious resources you have, like the things to activate blonde wells, like you probably don't need those at all. Delete any useless weapons that you haven't used much or just obviously aren't that good. And then obviously also just clear your vault out is the huge thing. Get a bunch of vault space in there because you're going to need it to save up a lot of stuff that we'll get into later in this video. And then with some challenges and triumphs going away, if you want to complete those as well, you should probably go on and do those just, you know, to clean that up as well. But that's not really that necessary compared to the other stuff that I just went over. But getting into the next section, let's talk about max power. Now, this might be obvious to some people, but you really should try to get all your characters to 1330. Obviously, the artifact level is going to be resetting, so you're going to be stuck at 1330, just the gear score. So you're going to want to get to that. This has a couple of different benefits. Not only is it going to make your grind easier once Witch Queen comes out because you're going to be higher light level, but you're going to be earning more powerful gear because the drops you're getting are already based on the highest of the previous season. So 1330, the first gear drop you're going to get that's increased, is obviously going to be higher than that. If you start going in at 1320, you're going to have to work your way up to 1330, then start getting actual new drops essentially, and like, you know, actual powerful drops. So having all your characters 1330 is going to be nice. And this is also going to help out if you're trying to do day one raids or just any other hard content in the game, because you can start on one character, do all the powerful stuff, move your powerful weapons over, start on the next character, do all the powerful stuff, then finally swap over to your last character and move your powerful weapons. Then again, you get the idea. You're gonna get the most light if you get all your characters 1330 right now. You still have a long time to do it. You can definitely get there, and I would highly recommend it. But now let's get into the good part, the part you probably all been waiting for: materials and bounties. But we're gonna start off talking about materials. If you've seen other people and you just want a different perspective, I hope my take on it was gonna make it really simple for you on how you can get the most materials and why you should get materials. So starting off, the easiest materials is planetary materials. Let's talk about that one. These are super easy to get from Spider. The problem is that Spider could possibly be going away since the Tangle Shore is going away. We don't know if they're going to move him somewhere else. So this could be your last chance to actually stack up on planetary materials. So I would definitely recommend going get like 5,000 of each planetary material. If you're scared he's going away, you might want to get a little bit more just to be on the safe side, but having at least 5,000 or even a little bit less. 5,000 is a little excessive if you're just, you know, kind of just playing the game. But I definitely would try to stack up at least a little bit just to have them, because obviously you can buy upgrade modules, which you'll be going through like crazy when the new DLC comes out, because you're going to be upgrading stuff a lot. And you know, it's also just nice to have if you ever come across anything that needs a planetary material. They're super cheap, and it's definitely not something I would sleep on because of how useful they can be, I guess essentially is the TLDR. Now the next obvious one is probably max ascendant shards and enhancement prisms. Now, this is specifically from Vault and your character. So obviously in your character, you can have 10, but then on each character, you can have it in your Vault. So obviously for Ascended Shards, inventory will be 10. And then in each of your Postmasters, they're going to have 10 each. So that'll be 40 in total. Then again, 50 Enhancement Prisms on your inventory. Then on each character, you'll have 50. So that'll be 200 Enhancement Prisms in total. Make sure your Postmaster is cleaned out so they don't randomly get deleted, because you will want these going into the Witch Queen for upgrading a bunch of different things. And the easiest way to get these is honestly just to farm Nightfalls. Grandmaster Nightfalls are just insanely rewarding if you can complete them. Even if you want to farm the lower level down, you can still get some good stuff from that. And then obviously try to complete your battle pass if you haven't yet, because that gives you 3 free Ascended Shards. And if you even want to run ghost mods on your ghost shell to give you enhanced prisms, you can, because that is also a thing. But I would definitely just recommend farming Nightfalls. It's definitely the easiest way to actually get these resources. And if you can do Grandmasters, just wait till Lake of Shadows comes up, or just any other easy one that you find easy. I know they are kind of hard this season, but just wait for one of those to pop up and just go ham 1 week and just literally just get as much materials as you can. That's what I plan to do to restock on everything, and that's also what I would recommend you guys doing as well. Now, enhancement cores is also another huge thing. I would definitely recommend getting at least 500. If you can get to a stack, you can, because you want to get to a point where you can just upgrade whatever. You don't have to worry about enhancement cores. Obviously, this is going to upgrade your armor and weapons. Easy ways to get enhancement cores are just to do gunsmith bounties every day. There's 4 bounties. You do 3 characters. That's 12 each day. I know the bounties are kind of, just to do, but it is 12 cores a day plus 2 mod components. That's actually also 24 mod components, which should be pretty good if there are any mods that you need to buy, or just anything like that. But the main thing is you'll get 12 cores a day, which is nice. And if you have any of the old material called Finest Matherweave, be sure to go to the moon and just kill this knight over and over again. You're gonna be able to just get an enhancement core. If you have a ton of these, if you're a veteran player, you probably have like maybe 200 plus stacked up, which will equal 200 enhancement cores. It is very grindy to do, but you get a bunch of cores from it, and I would definitely recommend checking if you have any of that resource. I do have a video specifically talking about enhancement cores. I will link in the description if you want more information on that, but that essentially is the TLDR of it, and that should probably help you guys out enough. Now, Glimmer, I feel like Glimmer is actually going to be probably a huge thing you should stack up for, because again, we do not know if the spider is going away. Obviously, if you run alone Glimmer, what do now? You run to the spider and you go get Glimmer from him. With the Tango Show going away, he possibly could be going away. We won't be able to do that anymore. So I would highly recommend saving up bunches of Zavala Authority ships or the other side Sparrow. All you need to do is just go buy these for 7,500 Glimmer and 5 shards. This is gonna give you your 5 shards back when you dismantle them, and on top of that, you get 5,000 Glimmer. Obviously, now it is a net loss, but it's not really too hard to get Glimmer back. Obviously, if you're actually playing the game with the 30th anniversary event. So try to stash up a bunch of these in your vault, depending on whichever one you have. I just do a Zavala Authority ship if you want to know the one I do, and you're going to be able to just dismantle these and get Glimmer whenever you need it in Witch Queen, because again, we don't know if the spider is going away, and you need a way to get Glimmer if you run low on something. Now, if you have a bunch of these materials and stuff that I've already talked about, you have a bunch of stuff saved up, you can actually do some things like upgrading exotic armor all the way, so you can dismantle them and get an Ascended Shard. Obviously, it's going to cost 3 shards now, but if you're still actively playing the game doing GMs, you're probably already at max Ascended Shards. So if you want to go take some of those and upgrade some useless exotics and just store them kind of like the ships and sparrows I was just talking about, you can also have Ascended Shards on hand. Again, you just need to make sure to actually get max Ascended Shards before Witch Queen launches. And you can also do the same thing with blue pieces of armor. If you need enhancement cores, you can actually upgrade them a little bit, dismantle them, and you'll get some extra cores back. It does cost some enhancement prisms, but again, if you're actively playing the game and you're going to get the stuff back, you can do all this and save it up, and you can just have stuff on hand whenever you need it as well, and just stash it in your vault. It's really useful. It is a little tricky, obviously, because you do need to redo everything and make sure you get it all again, but if you do and you're actually playing the game, you're gonna be able to save up even more resources, which is nice, but it's not needed. This is just for the veteran players that really want to try to min-max everything. But even to them, this is not even that big of a deal, so don't worry about it if you can't do it. Now, raid banners is also another thing I would definitely recommend stacking up on. Obviously, with the new raid coming out, it just goes hand in hand. You want raid banners. You don't want to be the person in there or the raid group that doesn't have a single thing of raid banners, so you have to back out. Or even in new content, obviously raid banners are pretty much available in everything now, not even in just raids, so you can always place raid banners down. You always have max ammo. You don't ever have to worry about leaving to go back to the tower to buy that. You have it on hand and you're ready to go, which is really nice. Also, maybe if you can, legendary shards can be really good to save up. We don't exactly know how crafting is going to work yet. It might cost a bunch of legendary shards. Obviously, with Trials of Osiris, it costs an insane amount of legendary shards to buy some of the stuff, especially if you are a new player. Definitely, if you can, there's really no method to gain legendary shards other than just playing the game of dismantling weapons. Try to get to the battle pass level where you get extra legendary shards when you dismantle items, but just playing the game a lot, honestly, is the best way to get stuff. There's really no just like, oh yeah, go here and farm this and you're going to get just a huge amount of legendary shards. That's not in the game. And there are some little interesting things you could do to gain like a legendary shard, like every once in a while, but honestly, it's so minimal, and just playing the game, I feel like it's just easier to do. If you just go farm the prophecy dungeon over and over again, just get legendaries, it's probably going to be faster. So I'm not even going to like try to mention those, but just play the game and try to dismantle as much legendaries as you can. And obviously, if they're good, be sure to keep the gun. Now, bounties. This is the other thing that I know all of you guys are waiting for. What bounties should I save? Why should I save bounties? You know, saving bounties has been a thing since Destiny 1. They tried to like combat it a little bit, but it's still insanely strong to do. So you should, if you're trying to get a head up on the game, definitely save bounties. Don't think that you need to. Also, don't think that you need to do literally any of this stuff that I've already went over, but obviously this is just if you want to do it. It's not that big of a deal. I will say this is probably the most important thing if you are going to do anything, because it will kind of give you a leg up on having seasonal mods and just having more XP than other people if you're trying to do something new. But even if you don't, you will still be fine. Trust me, you don't have to try to min-max every little bit of this if you don't want to. But if you do, let's talk about saving bounties for XP. So obviously, like I already said, this is going to give you new mods from the artifact, more XP because it's giving you artifact level, so you're going to get more power level from that. And just make sure if you do save bounties, the biggest thing is to actually grab the new artifact before you turn them in. And also be sure you're in a fire team, because if you have some of the battle pass range, you get more XP if you're in a fire team. So again, just grab the artifact, get in a fire team, then turn all the bounties in. Do not turn them in as soon as the DLC launches, because you'll just waste the XP. But the best bounties to save are the weekly bounties. Right now in the game, the only weekly bounties you can save, let me look down here at my writing, is Variks, Shalhan, Eris, the Lectern, Iron Banner when it comes around, and seasonal events. Now, seasonal events are things like the Dawning, which is going to be coming out, obviously. Even Moments of Triumph might have some, but just any seasonal event up until Witch Queen, be sure to save those. Obviously, when Iron Banner comes back around, be sure to do all 4 of those, save those. Then Eris, Lectern, Sean, and Variks, you can just see, you know, each week check those if anything has rotated into them, and just save those up on all your characters. Now, obviously, that's not enough weekly bounties to fill up your bounty slot, because there's like 63 slots you can do, including quests. So if you can get as much quests as you can, definitely try to do that so you can save more bounties. But also, the daily bounties you need to save, I would definitely recommend doing planetary bounties over daily bounties. Not only are you getting materials from those, which is really good, because obviously when I was talking about saving materials up, but this is also not going to impede on your like weekly Vanguard, Gambit, Gunsmith, Crucible quest for completing 8 bounties, because if you complete that, obviously you're going to get your powerful gear to drop, and you don't want those to drop until you actually want to start earning powerful gear, because you want to get to that soft cap level before. So if you have all those weekly bounties saved up, all the planetary bounties saved up, and you still have some room left over, if you want to take some of those bounties, you just be sure to only take 7, because you're going to need to obviously do 1 extra bounty from the Witch Queen to get the nice powerful drop, and you don't want to go on and waste that. Now, the problem with this is that possibly could be some form of quest where it's like complete a Vanguard bounty for like, I don't know, some main quest or something, which could be bad, because that could ruin the flow that you have, obviously, if you save 7 bounties up. But the likelihood of that happening isn't that likely, but it could, so be aware of that. So just save what you want to save. Be sure to obviously do planetary materials and weekly bounties the most, and then whatever you have left over, just try to save whatever you can. If you want to save daily seasonal bounties, you can, and just be sure to not save the repeatable bounties, because they give the least amount of XP. You for sure want to save the ones that actually rotate, because those are going to give you a lot of XP just compared to the repeatable ones. Weeklies obviously give the most, dailies gives the second most, repeatables gives the third most. Like it's not anywhere close. It goes like 3,000, 6,000, 12,000, I'm pretty sure. So obviously you want the 12,000 and 6,000 ones. But yeah, that's pretty much it for bounties. I really hope that helps you out if you are trying to save some. And also some just additional things, be sure to try to get some good weapons if you can. I can make a separate video. I know this video has been going on for way too long. If you want to know some good weapons you can get, just Be sure to let me know in the comments below if you watched this far. I can definitely go over a lot of the weapons that you should probably take into Witch Queen. Then also get Catalyst done. Obviously, you know, a bunch of weapons got buffed. You probably want to get the Catalyst done for those. Just make sure everything is nice and clean and ready to go for Witch Queen. But that is the Witch Queen prep. This is what I'm doing. This is probably what a lot of other people are going to be doing. I really hope this helps you out if you want to start doing this. Again, just clean your characters, get to max power, save some material, save some bounties, get some good weapons, and try to get a bunch of stuff just completed. That's pretty much going to be it. It's kind of the same thing every year, just every season, but it is a little different this year with the possibility of Spotter going away, with the Tango Show going away. You know, there's some new strategies, but that is pretty much it. Again, I really did hope this helped you guys out. If it did, please be sure to share it to other people if you want them to also be prepared for Witch Queen. And again, consider doing all the normal YouTube stuff because it really helps me out and our community grow by getting these videos out there for everyone to see. But thank you all so much for watching. If you made it this far in the video, definitely be sure to drop a like. I cannot wait for Witch Queen, and I cannot wait to see all of you guys there that are prepared because you watched this video.